Hey there, Tigers. My name is Kaitlyn Goslinga, and I'm the Senior Assistant Director of Financial Aid here at Pacific. For today's video, we are going to be talking about all of the different ways you can manage your investment in Pacific. A college education is sometimes one of the largest expenses we might see in our lifetime, maybe compared to buying a house. But I think we can all agree it's one of the most important investments you can make in yourself. So today we're going to cover all of the different ways you can help manage that investment. First things first, we are going to cover reapplying for financial aid each year. And then we're going to go into the financial aid timeline and how you can get your financial aid renewed. We will talk about all the different financing options you have and ways to make paying for any remaining tuition or housing costs more flexible. And last but not least, we will hit federal work study and cover future scholarship opportunities, which I know is what everyone wants to know more about. So if you see any topics here that pique your interest, feel free to jump ahead through the chapters. So first thing, applying for financial aid. It is not too late to apply for the upcoming school year. We encourage all eligible students to file the FAFSA, which is the free application for federal student aid. It is required for grants and for loans, but not for merit scholarships. So if you have a merit scholarship, you don't need a FAFSA to receive those funds. But if you want to be considered for any other financial aid resources, we need to make sure we file the FAFSA. It's available at the studentaid.gov website. If you are a FAFSA filer, you're going to receive a digital financial aid offer notice from our team. If you don't file a FAFSA, you're still able to review your merit scholarship through My Pacific, which is the portal where all of our current students are able to register for classes, check their emails, things like that. We want to encourage you to file the FAFSA each and every year, no matter what. So often life can throw us curveballs, and oftentimes those curveballs come in the form of a cost, right? We never plan for a parent to lose a job or to experience maybe expensive medical bills, things like that. We want to encourage you to file the FAFSA. So if something like that happens, our team can help you faster. Otherwise, we have to ask you to file a FAFSA, and in the time of maybe some financial stress, that's just one more thing that you have to do. So it takes less than an hour to file the FAFSA. We're going to encourage you all to do it each and every year, no matter what. And if you have grants or if you have student loans you plan on borrowing, you need to renew your FAFSA each year. All right, a little bit on the financial aid timeline. We want to encourage you to file a FAFSA as early as you can when it goes online. Number one, that's going to ensure a timely financial aid award. And additionally, if there are any funds that are in a first come, first served basis, we want to make sure you access those. The FAFSA is going to go online for your next year at Pacific, October 1st. So classes typically start in August. Already in October, we are thinking about financial aid for the next year. I'm always looking for ways to be my future friend. So be your future friend, put a calendar reminder in your phone for every October 1st. That way you remember, okay, I gotta renew my FAFSA for next year. The school year just gets more and more busy, so that fall break is a great time to renew your FAFSA. Offers for our continuing students typically go out a bit later than those for our first year students. The reason being is we have to make sure that grades are finalized. So we're going to check grades, and we'll talk about what that requirement looks like in just a moment. But after we do that grade review, we're going to send out financial aid offers. Typically that is in mid to late May. And when you get that financial aid offer, or over the summer when you get your billing statement, please, please, please take the time to look at it and contact our office if you see anything missing that you would have perhaps expected to receive. As much as computers are very reliable, right? Algorithms do what we hope they're going to do. Sometimes things go wrong, right? So we want to make sure that if anything is missing that you expected to receive, that you let us know. Don't wait 2 years to say, hey, I should have had that scholarship from 2 years ago, right? Take the time to look each and every year, or each and every semester for that matter. All right, so moving on to aid renewal, right? What do you need to do as a student to make sure that your financial aid is renewed beyond perhaps refiling your FAFSA? So we have a policy here at Pacific that students need to meet called satisfactory academic progress. Now that's a mouthful, so we just call it SAP, right? So this SAP policy has 2 requirements. It's defined as a cumulative 2.0 GPA, and students need to pass 67% or 2/3 of all of the courses they attempt after the add drop period. Now, if that term is not familiar to you, that is a short window of time each semester that students have to add or drop their classes before they lock in their schedule for the term. Once that period's over, those are the courses that are going to be looked at for that GPA review and that PACE percentage toward your degree. This applies to most all merit scholarships. There's a few small exceptions, perhaps for the Powell Scholarship, as well as all federal, state, and institutional need-based aid and student loans. So basically all of your financial aid. And we check SAP at the end of each academic year. So what this means is maybe your fall semester, you don't do as well as you had hoped, right? Maybe that transition coming to college for the first time for our new students is a little bit rough, and that is completely understandable. Well, of course, Pacific has resources to help students in those scenarios. What that means for financial aid is you have the entire second spring semester to balance out your GPA and your courses. So you have the entire academic year, because it's cumulative, right? Looking at all of the courses that you've taken. Now, if there was a roadblock in your way, maybe something that came up that caused you to do not as well as you had hoped, something, let's just say outside of your control, maybe a mental health concern, a medical concern, something along those lines, we do have an appeal process for our students. So financial aid is not lost forever. There is an opportunity for you to let our committee know what you may have been experiencing, for them to take another look at your financial aid if you don't meet the SAP criteria. All right, so a couple other things that we're going to chat about today, some other financing options to make paying for any remaining amount owed to Pacific more flexible. So we're going to cover our monthly payment plan as well as some different loan options, the Federal Parent Plus loan and private loans. Families always have the option to make one lump payment at the start of every semester, but for most families, that's not super realistic, right? You don't get paid twice a year, you get paid twice a month or maybe once a month. So as such, we do have a monthly payment plan that families can enroll in. This is offered through our student accounts office. They are responsible for billing and for payments. And the payment plan is signed up for twice a year. We bill semester by semester. So as such, you sign up for a payment plan at the start of each term. There are 2 different payment plan options available each semester. The first payment plan is the 3-month plan. So let's say for the fall, that is payments in August, September, and October. That's a $25 enrollment fee. There's no interest that accrues, just that one fee you pay with your very first payment. That plan can repeat in the spring if you would like to pursue it again, January, February, and March. Otherwise, you can extend those payments out a bit more with the 5-month plan. So again, August, September, October, November, December, we can repeat that January through May for the spring term. That is a little bit of a larger enrollment fee at $75 per term. Now, to kind of get a sense if the payment plan is going to be right for you, what you can do is you can take your financial aid offer notice. There's going to be some orange bars there on that notice. That's that estimated amount owed to Pacific after your financial aid is applied. What you can do is you can then divide that amount by either 6 or by 10 to get an idea of what your payments would look like throughout the year if you choose the 3-month or the 5-month plan per term. Now, maybe you're in a scenario where those payments are a little bit too high. There are some other options to bring that payment down through different loan options. The first being the Federal Parent Plus loan. This is probably the most common loan option we see pursued. This is a loan for parents that parents can apply for to assist with their dependent students' costs. The one thing to know about it though is it is credit-based. So that means that parents' credit has to be approved in order to borrow. The application is completed by the parent online at studentaid.gov, and it opens up officially each year on April 15th. So save that date if you are interested in the Parent Plus loan. Parents, if your credit is approved, there is a master promissory note that's required as well. That's the second step in the loan process to finalize that loan. Parents, though, if your credit is denied, there still are options to pursue the Plus loan. You could move forward with an endorser. That's the same thing as a co-signer. If their credit is approved, you will be able to move forward with borrowing. There is also an appeal option. So maybe if there's something in your credit that has been cleared up, or maybe if there's a mistake on your credit report, you can appeal that decision with direct loans. Another option or another route that we see families choose, perhaps in place of the Federal Plus loan, would be a private loan. This is a loan that's offered through a bank, a credit union, or another financial institution. The difference here, I would say, is here with a private loan, the student is the applicant, right? So they are first and foremost the person that applies for the loan, but they're going to need a cosigner to be approved. That is the case for like 99% of all private loans. So students, you will need a cosigner if you are looking at a private loan. A quick web search is going to give you quite a few options to look at. Legally here, we can't make any specific recommendations, but do a quick web search. You're going to see quite a few different options. Look for the ones that are going to give you the most favorable terms and conditions, right? Look for the lowest interest rates, maybe ones that are going to give you flexibility when it comes to repayment. But really, really make sure you read the fine print and you understand those terms and conditions thoroughly, because oftentimes funds in the federal loan program, like federal student loans or the parent loan, may be more favorable when it comes to interest rate, repayment terms and conditions, things like that. Moving on from here, some additional work and aid opportunities, right? Everybody's always looking for other ways to make a little bit more money or apply for more scholarships. So we're going to cover the federal work-study program and some on-campus jobs, kind of what that process looks like at Pacific, as well as future scholarship opportunities. So with work-study, this is a financial aid program that allows students the opportunity to find jobs on campus. So this is a $3,000 offer, I should say, given to those students who have the most financial need. So typically students that are eligible for the federal Pell Grant are also eligible for federal work-study funds. However, these funds are earned as you work. You don't have $3,000 immediately that's applied toward your bill. So that means you have to apply for a job on campus, maybe you have to interview, and then ultimately you have to get hired and start working on campus. If you're not eligible for work study though, that doesn't mean you can't work on campus. You maybe just need to be a little bit more particular in looking for jobs that don't require federal work study, because some on-campus jobs will require it. If you want to take a look at the different opportunities that Pacific has, check out our career services page. They also have a portal called Handshake where students can create an account and then look for all of the different jobs that are on campus. All right, so next thing, everyone always asks, how can I get more scholarship money? Are there more scholarship opportunities for me at Pacific? And that answer is yes, but that timeline may look a little bit different from what you're thinking. So at this moment, we have over 150 different additional scholarship opportunities for our continuing students. So what that means is you do need to have an established academic record at Pacific before you can start applying. This is a really competitive process. So my advice to you is to keep your GPA up as high as you possibly can, but you already knew that. Students are going to be invited to apply in the fall semester of their first year through our Tiger Scholarships portal. So again, that same time frame, you're going to start taking classes in August, and then October 1st, same time we're renewing our FAFSA, you can also apply for these additional scholarship opportunities. While we have 150 different funds, oftentimes many students can be awarded from an individual scholarship. There are also endowed scholarships as students progress through our different professional degree programs. So if you're thinking about going on to dental school, pharmacy school, law school, if you want to get a master's degree in education, other graduate programs, that's not the full list, there are scholarship opportunities as you continue through the different degree programs here at Pacific. If you have questions on any of these options, please do not hesitate to get in touch with our office. You can give us a call, send us an email. We have counselors available for walk-in or phone-in visits, whatever is most convenient for you. We are reached at 209-946-2421 or financialaid@pacific.edu. Go Tigers!